Hi, Sam Spernat here for TheInformer, and welcome to Property Matters. Today we're going to be looking at something that's a little bit closer to my heart. We're going to actually look at the relocation and what I call the bolt that's occurring now because of COVID and the post-COVID run, and everyone's thinking about, oh, do I want a tree change? Oh, do I want a sea change? And we're going to look at, I suppose, is that really the best thing to do at the moment? Or is it better to actually rent the lifestyle for a little while just to see if you like it before you commit to buying into it? And I think that's something that no one really wants to discuss because we all get caught up in the excitement. We all want to get out of, be it Melbourne, Sydney, Adelaide, Queensland, and go somewhere a little bit more nicer, spacious, where we don't feel like we're trapped in our house, in our living room. I feel sorry for particularly those that have been living in one-bedroom apartments through this. I think, though, when we get caught up in these, we tend to make rushed and, well, not the best decisions. So I'm talking to a lot of my clients at the moment about this, and one thing I'm suggesting to them quite strongly is don't rush into this. Think about it. Why don't you rent a house down the peninsula or down the coast? Why don't you rent a house in the hinterland or out bush and sample it for 12 months? You know, 12 months is a long time. You might get out there and think, well, actually, I need to be in the city more for work than I anticipated. You might get out there and think, well, actually, the school isn't what I need for my son or daughter at the moment. It isn't really fulfilling what I want for them. We've got to go back to the city. And therefore, what's happened then is you've sold your house, you've bought something else, you've now got to go through another sale process, you've got to go through another buying process. And that's just money down the drain, not only in the cost of buying and selling, but also in time, and your time is worth something. So that's why I think at the moment, don't just jump both feet in. Take a deep breath and sample it first. Don't get me wrong, I would love to live down in the peninsula, but I know at this point in time, it's not the appropriate thing for my life. But in saying that, if the opportunity arose, the first thing I'd do is rent my home out and just see that I can do it first. Because if you go down there and you do it and you regret it, at least you've got somewhere to return home to. And you can just do that quickly. And that's the key thing here. It's about giving yourself options. You don't want to cut your nose off to spite your face, as they say. So why throw the baby out with the bathwater and sell the family home in a rush and a mad panic to do something different? Think about how you want to live. Is it really appropriate? Do you actually have the ability to do all your work online, do your meetings online, submit your reports via email or what have you? I mean, Zoom's been a great invention for this, but that doesn't answer all the questions. Or once everything opens back up, will you have to come back to the city and the big smoke and actually go into the office? Because this is something, we're not looking far enough ahead. 12 months is a long time, but in 5 years, 10 years, this whole COVID mess could just be a thing of the past, or it could still be with us. And that's what we don't know. So don't make these sweeping changes to your life without a little bit of planning and forethought. Because if you don't plan, you plan to fail. And when talking about property, that could be the difference between setting yourself up for retirement with your home or thinking, what can I do in retirement? Which is the conversation none of us want to have. So I think the big takeaway from all this really is that just think about it. Think about how you're going to do it. Spend some time in these areas. Go to the local cafe. I mean, God forbid, if I went to an area and found out a couple of months in that there was nowhere good to get a strong latte, I'd be apocalyptic. I wouldn't last. So you've got to think about what really is important to you. It's not just as simple as, while business is a bit quiet, we can go sit down on the beach, we can have our freedom, we can go for walks in the countryside. Isn't it all romantic and wonderful? Because at some point, the economy is going to fire back up. And at some point, we are going to open back up properly and fully. And then you've got to decide, are you foregoing all the benefits of being in the inner city or inner suburbs or even in the close suburbs to have this country or coastal lifestyle? So just stop, think, and be methodical. I know what I'm doing. I know how I'm helping with my clients around it. and rushing is never the answer. If you want to hear more about these topics, look out for the next episode. I've been Sam Spernat for Property Matters from The Informer. Thank you.